Dr. Bach, can I say that the political system in the 17th century is very close to that of the modern Britain?
Well, it's on the way, but it's not arrived.
Yes.
I mean, the modern system, every man and woman has the vote.
Yes.
But that's only achieved in 1928.
Yes.
In the modern system, voting is private. Up until 1872, when you voted, you had to tell everybody who you were voting for.
Wow, that's
and
interesting.
So that means a lot of pressure can be put on you.
Yes.
If you're voting against your landlord, that's not going to be very good for your rent next year, is it? And so there are lots of aspects that are different, and the modern political system, the monarch has no power. Neither does the House of Lords have power. Right up till 1911, the House of Lords was able to reject a budget which had been put forward by the House of Commons, and so we're a long way from that.
Yes.
But we have advanced by the end of the 17th century to a position where the monarch's power is very severely curtailed, and in which there is free speech in Parliament. And I think, and there's also a financial system in which the monarchy is dependent upon Parliament. And so I think that's very, 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 very crucial.
Yes.
And at the beginning of the 17th century, the idea that the king should live of his own, that the king should have enough money to govern on his own, that if there could be that sort of settlement, then the king wouldn't be needing to summon Parliament.
Yes.
But no such settlement was ever arrived at or ever agreed, and I think that's partly because of the huge inflation that had taken place over the Tudor period.
Yes.
No such settlement of the royal finances was agreed, and kings were also very often extremely extravagant, and so this gave the opportunity to Parliament to use its ability to supply money to assert its power.
Yes, yes. And I was also wondering one thing about you have said. The kings at that time, they were extravagant. Actually, I was thinking sometimes because they were extravagant, so they have built so many grand buildings and churches. And today, visitors can visit them. That's a kind of legacy for the aesthetic values.
Yes, it's certainly true that there are wonderful buildings.
Yes.
And there were kings. Some kings had a very high degree of aesthetic sensibility. Most of all, Charles I.
Okay.
I mean, Charles I was a great connoisseur of art, and
Wow.
he employed the great artist of the day, Rubens. There's one wonderful picture by Rubens called
Wow.
The Allegory of Peace, in which Rubens is making a kind of political propaganda for Charles, wanting to make peace with Spain, for example. So yes, but I think that if you're talking about country houses and great buildings to visit in Britain, and there are lots of them,
Yes.
and it's a big part of the British economy now, the tourist
Yes, I think so.
tourism. I think it's not just the king, it's also the aristocracy. It's
Yes.
the very, very wealthy aristocracy. It's the people who seized power in the Glorious Revolution. These are the people who are spending very large sums of money building country houses, which since the end of the First World War and since the levels of taxation and inheritance tax have been so high, have gradually been either given to or sold to the nation, and which are maintained today by great organizations like the National Trust and English Heritage, which are supported by a very significant number of British people to maintain that cultural heritage.
Yeah,
And
yes.
the great thing for Chinese visitors is when you go into these British country houses,
Yes.
you can actually go all the way around them.
Okay.
When you go to Tiantan and Wugong, you can just put your head round the corner.
Yes.
But when you go to British country houses, you can actually go around every single room, the bedrooms,
Every
the
single
bathrooms,
corner.
you can go and have a look at everything, and the huge collections of art and books that they
Yeah,
have.
wow.
So that we're lucky in that aspect.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
have
we are
that
lucky.
inheritance
Yes.
from the wealthy classes in Britain.
Yes, we are very fortunate to be able to witness this cultural wealth. Thank you very much. Thank you.